Yo, what is good? It's your boy SAMI2FRESH, and I'm back with another haircut tutorial. This one's gonna be a little bit different. Not your traditional mid-fade, drop fade haircut tutorial, But this is my little brother, and this is what it's gonna look like after we're done. Whatever you want to call it, taper, high taper, burst taper, mohawk, mullet, design in the back. It doesn't really matter as long as it's gonna look fresh at the end. Like, let's be real, nobody really cares. But yeah, step one, comb all the hair out. That's important. They're gonna teach you that in barber school. Always comb the hair. Step two, grab your clipper. I'm using the JRL clippers with a this is a 1.5 guard. You can do a 2, you can do a 3, depending on hair length, depending on the structure of your client's head. Anyways, yeah, take down the bulk just like that. And then after you take down the bulk, I'm gonna just go a little bit higher using my clipper over comb technique. You want to get a really fat comb that can handle the face of the clipper, and just practice it just like that. Because really, if you're a beginner and you don't know how to cut hair, you need to find some clients, find some people that are willing to let you cut their hair and just practice. Because you're not going to learn how to cut hair by watching a bunch of YouTube videos. You need to put in the work, you need to put in the hours, you need to practice. I'd say if you did one haircut a day for 30 days, maybe a little longer than that, but if you did one haircut every day and then you gave it your full potential, you gave it your everything, you are going to be a boss. You're going to be a boss at this, and you're gonna be killing it, I promise. So just be patient. Success comes with experience. Anyways, so I'm just knocking it out, taking down the side, giving them that lineup. But yeah, boom, dust off the hair. Always keep your work neat, nice and neat, just like that. So, and then we want to use our foil shaver. You want to be very careful with the foil shaver. We're just tapping, we're barely tapping. I'm about to show you how to use it real quick. Against my hand, I'm going to show you really lightly. You want to just use if you got a foil shaver like mine, you want to be careful, because you could really just, it takes a lot of hair off and it gets really close. Some people, it might even irritate some people. That's how close it gets. So you want to be very careful. Yes, be very careful. These are sharp. These are all sharp equipment. So very careful. We're gonna get the neck hairs, and we're gonna get the under the neck right there. Make it nice and smooth. So now, the way we take out that first guideline we made earlier is I'm just gonna take it about a half inch above that line. And then I'm gonna close my lever all the way and just hit it with the corner of the blade until that line somewhat goes away, because it won't go completely away by just using your clipper. Alright, so you're gonna get it the best that you can. Don't carve into the man's head trying to take out that line. What you're gonna do is you're just gonna want to go shorter, and the way you do that is you just use your outliner. Your outliner is should be slightly a little bit cut a little bit closer than the clipper. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm just knocking that line out really gentle, just tapping it, linear motions from right to left, left to right, because that's kind of, like I said, you're just gonna have to go at it and feel it out when you have a customer, or if he's not your customer, somebody, right? So after that, I'm gonna go to my 1, just clean it up a little bit, and then I'm gonna go back down to my half and just blend in the next level after that, slightly, just like that. Very gentle, smooth, just feel it out, don't go too high. It'll naturally just go up as you switch your guards, count up and then count down. What I like to do is I like to do the fade and the hair and then fade out the beard at the same time. If you haven't noticed that, even lining up the beard while I'm doing the fade, it's just how I've learned to do it, and it works for me. So I do them at the same time. Right here, I'm doing a 1.5, just, you know, cleaning it up, whatever excess hair I see. I mean, it looks good, right? But I'm just detailing. You just got to keep detailing it. Take your time. Back to my clipper over comb. You know, there's not one way to do this. You can do it whatever works for you. Just stick to that. Just do some more detailing. I actually ended up taking it a little higher because my first guideline, I just realized it needed to be higher, so I took that a little bit higher. And to make the fade blend in even better, I'll use my thinning shears and comb and just make it blurry, just like that. And yeah, as you can tell, I just did one side, but in your case, if you're starting off, you want to do both sides at this, you know, at the same time. Whatever step you do on the left side, you got to do on the right side. It's just easier that way, making sure that they're the same. But for the sake of the video, I was just doing one side at a time because I didn't want to keep rotating the camera around, you know, to get the angles, even though my angles are probably not that crazy. But yeah, line up the beard at the same time while you make that first guideline. It saves time, you know. Even if your clients don't want the beard, just do the beard. Just do it. Just do it, man. And then I also just line up the sides, get that out of the way. And as you can tell, it doesn't just pop out at once, you know. You want to go over the same spot a few times because you might miss some hairs. You will miss some hairs. You want to go over it a few times. Don't expect this haircut to take like 20 minutes, you know. You need to take your time. Get your open lever, half a finger, then you close your lever and you knock out that line. Something like that. I know you can't see it that well, but just, you know, you gotta imagine it. Use your imagination, guys. Just go crazy. After you use your clipper, you want to go back to that trimmer because it gets like the perfect length between the foiled shaver and then the clipper, which is that outliner. It's right in the middle, and you want to use that to take out the line. And then you want to use your one, and then you want to go back to your half, open lever and then close lever as needed. You know, feel it out. Use your, you know, use that lever on the side, open it up all the way, and then close it as needed. You know, feel it out. Everybody's haircut is going to be different. Nobody's haircut is going to be the same. Not one haircut tutorial is going to answer all your questions. You just need to feel it out, man. So right now I'm just doing some detailing work. I went back to the took my guards off and just cleaned it up a little bit. It's all just detailing, just making it flow, making it look like the way you want. Go down, cut with the grain because it's still kind of long on top. All that is gonna go with I'm gonna cut it with my scissors because it's really long. I'm gonna cut it dust off all the hair. Boom. When you're cutting the top, always get it damp, get it a little bit wet like that. Make sure all of it is nice and even. Don't drench them unless you don't care. But for this video, I'm just gonna cut the bangs right there because I'm taking them out, but I don't want it to be a straight line. I'm not using my clippers. I'm using the scissors, giving it a nice texture in the front. Just taking it up slowly. And then, chop away on the sides. Just take the sides off. I'm right-handed, so boom. This technique is it's really easy for beginners, I'd say. You won't really have a guide to follow, so you kind of just feel it, you're just feeling it. Your sections are going to be about an inch apart. You might want to repeat some sections as needed. Right here I'm doing what I call as a point cut, just making it all the hairs add a texture, so when they lay down nicely. They don't just lay down flat, so when I style it, it's gonna give it a pop using that point cutting technique. Again, using 1-inch sections, or you can use your comb as a guide. If you lay your comb on his head, that'll be your section length. You want to do some slide cutting just like that. You want to be very gentle, and just a heads up that you can't do this with all types of scissors, especially the ones, $20 scissors that you'll get from like Amazon or something. You need some really sharp and nice ones because it's gonna tug, and honestly sometimes it tugs on my scissors, but you got to be really careful. So now I'm just doing some more detailing work. I'm gonna go back to my my thinning shears and just clean it up, make it really blurry. I'd say this haircut took me about an hour to get it from start to finish. I like to take my time, especially to get it done right. Realistically, a haircut can be done in like 20 minutes, but it's not going to be a great haircut. It's going to be a 20-minute haircut. This haircut was pretty challenging to do, even though I've been cutting my brother's hair for so long, but for some reason this haircut was more challenging than I thought it would be. Alright, so for the back, I'm gonna just cut it at a triangle, and I switched to my JRL outliners because they're a little bit sharper, and they just cut a little bit straighter. I just noticed that slight difference, so I'm gonna just cut a little triangle, take out the bulk. This part, you want to make sure that they are both even. It's really easy to not make them even. So I'm just taking it out right there with a 2 very lightly. I'm not taking it high whatsoever at all, barely, you know. And then we just do that design with the clipper. Make your middle line and then follow it to the ear, and then follow it back to the middle, and then double check. Always double check. Comb it. Move all that hair. Using your scissors, I've noticed, makes it pop, because you can get those hairs. Your clipper, when you use your clipper, those little tiny flyaways will pop out, and then with the scissor you can get them easier. Get all those flyaways. Comb and cut, comb and cut, comb and cut. I ended up using a 1.5 and just knocking out that bottom line a little bit, making it pop a little bit different, you know, giving it some pop. I'm just going with the flow. I'm really just kind of feeling it out. And honestly, that's what I do with most of my haircuts, is I just kind of go with the flow, feel it out. There's not really one way to do it, you know. So right now I'm just double checking. Always double check your work. You're not gonna get it right the first time. Always double check. Now I'm gonna get my straight razor and then just line up the sides, line up his eyebrows. You want to stretch the skin and go at a 45-degree angle. I'm using my feather straight razor with the feather blades. They're like a safety blade actually, where it's still sharp, but you don't nick people as easily with these blades. They're a little bit more spendy than the regular derby blades that everybody really uses. You know, and then you want to just touch up that design again, 45 degrees, stretch the skin. Those lineups pop. Your straight razor is gonna make everything pop. Just air dry, get all the hair off, dry the hair, preparing it for the style. We're about to style him up. Oh yeah, before we do that, I'm gonna just put some enhancement. I'm using my Temp 2 with the Kiss, a hair dye that I made. I diluted it with a little bit of water, and then I just spray it on there. You don't have to do this technique. I like to do it because look, boom. That's why I like to do it. It just pops. It's art. Temporary hair dye. This is gonna last him like 3 days. Why not? You only get a haircut like every other week, so why not look extra fresh for the first 3 days? Some people don't like it, some people like it, but I think it really makes the haircut look good. Makes it pop. So there we go. I'm all done. Just cleaning him up again with the straight razor, making sure everything is straight, all the lines are straight. But there you go. All done. So guys, let me know how I did. Thank you very much, and please subscribe.